Measuring perceptions and attitudes. Most common research conducted by firms is aimed at measuring consumer perceptions and attitudes. How do they feel, think? The researcher attempts to record the answers to certain questions in some sort of format. And the two general formats are quantitative data and qualitative data. And there we go. Qualitative is you use your senses to observe the results, whereas quantitative is all about using instruments such as rulers and cylinders and beakers and etc. to measure the results, or a computer. Qualitative again is where people share their feelings. They use words like easy and awkward and efficient and confusing, whereas with quantitative it's all about numbers. How many people are this age? How many people said that, etc. Qualitative data are not in numerical format. They don't come in numbers, but in descriptive forms. And it's very good to get in-depth insights. How do people feel about certain things? The researcher will often use open-ended questions to get people to write out how they feel, and will then also be able to ask them more questions. Tell me more about that feeling. Why do you feel that way? When do you feel that way? What's your opinion? What motivates you? So it's kind of like a conversation. Questions like, why do you prefer au gold tomato sauce? It is likely to produce a qualitative response. The answer may be, it is the best tasting tomato sauce on the market, from someone. But then you can probe further and say, okay, but who first introduced you to au gold? That person might say, my mother, who used to put it on my chips and burgers she used to make. This will then reveal that it's not actually their favorite tasting. Well, it is their favorite tasting, but why is it their favorite tasting? Because of the memories and feelings of home that encourages them to continue to buy that tomato sauce. It tastes like home. Then we have quantitative data. On the other hand, it's expressed in numerical format. The same questions can be asked, but are then presented in numbers, like that one, with bar charts and things like that. You summarize the data in percentages and averages and graphs. And there are many scales that can be used to measure perceptions and attitudes. You get nominal scales, ordinal scales, interval scales, and ratio scales. You also get Likert scales. And it's a rating scale in which respondents indicate their agreement or disagreement. There's a series of statements ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree, like this. The sky is blue. Strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, or I prefer not to comment. Right, so that's called a Likert scale. The respondents can answers can be expressed as a number, and you can report, for example, that the average score of our respondents to the statement the sky is blue, the people who chose number 5 strongly agree. There was 55% of them. Those who agree, 20%. Those who are neutral, 15%. Those who disagree, 5%. And those who strongly disagree, another 5%. So you can use numbers and percentages to quantify that data. Right, 55% of respondents strongly agreed, whereas 5 strongly disagreed. And here's another good example. This is a semantic differential scale. Now in this one, I just like to get... Now in this one, the way this works is that you put two opposing concepts on each side, and you say, how would you rate Pick n Pay, ShopRite and Woolworths on the following scale? Now you might say, Woolworths is over here. Oopsie. You might say Woolworths is over there, then we have Pick n Pay, and then we have ShopRite over there. Bright? Well, ShopRite is pretty bright, then we have Pick n Pay, and then we have Woolworths. Quality, Woolworths is definitely the highest. Oh, sorry, that's low quality. In terms of ShopRite is the lowest quality. Then we have Woolworths and Pick n Pay is over there. Innovative, Woolworths is very innovative. Then Pick n Pay, ShopRite not so much. Convenient, and then you can carry on and you can give people this. This is a semantic differential scale. Okay, qualitative and quantitative data have disadvantages and advantages, both of them. Qualitative data is in-depth. It provides very detailed information into a problem, but you can't actually quantify the data with numbers. You can't say this many people thought this and this many people thought that. You can only report on different respondents' attitudes and perceptions. Whereas quantitative data allows one to quantify in numbers. For example, 88% of customers are satisfied. Which one of the two is better? It's not better, it just depends on the objective of the research. Sometimes using them in combination is very helpful. Like the level of customer satisfaction would be quantitative. Like there's an example. Those who were satisfied and loyal, 38%. Satisfied but disloyal, 27%. Unsatisfied and disloyal, 13%. And so forth. You'd use level of customer satisfaction is quantitative. Whereas if you want to get information on a new type of product, how do they feel about it, you would use qualitative data. So it just depends on the type of information you're gathering.